Paul Caligiuri, SoccerOne at the NSCAA convention here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm with Sam Snow. He is in the top of the food chain for U.S. Youth Soccer. He's our technical director. Tell us about your role and welcome.
Thank you, Paul. It's a great pleasure to be here. My role predominantly with U.S. Youth Soccer is in coaching education. A lot of that has to do with providing the National Youth Coaching course, which is for coaches working with children 12 and younger, but we have coaching education that goes through all of our programs, which are from under 6 to under 19. One of our other big coaching education pieces that we do, which is somewhat unique in the country, is with our top soccer program, which is for disability athletes. So we have a coaching education piece for coaches going into that. As a matter of fact, in speaking with Stuart Sharp, who is the men's Paralympic coach for the United States, he wants that to be the base coaching education piece, and then U.S. Soccer, hopefully to create the next piece for coaches working with disability athletes. So what I do is coaching education, and it's covering a large range of things for us, given that we have everything from the Olympic Development Program to 5-year-olds just beginning their soccer.
That's a new coach in the disability arena. I believe there was Coach Hoffman in the past who's done an excellent job.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more in detail where you're at. I mean, you're in Texas, and this is, when you talk about the country, it's a huge country. Yeah. How do you pull this off?
Our offices are in Frisco, Texas, which is on the north side of Dallas. We're part of the Toyota Soccer Park, where FC Dallas has their stadiums. We're right next to the stadium. From there, we are able to cover the country in terms of getting out to all of our state associations. And really, Paul, that's how we make it all work, is through our 55 state associations. All of those have offices. All of those have a technical director and an executive director. So it's through that network. And then our 4 regional offices. We have Region 1, 2, 3, 4, the North, the South, the Midwest, and the West. And that's how we make all of the mechanics of it work, especially when you look at something like the National Championship Series, where teams will begin in their state cup. If they win that, going on to regionals, from that going on to nationals. Well, that's all a U.S. Youth Soccer program.
As much as I know that it's really competitive from the state side, you compete, Cal South I come from, and we compete against other state associations. You want to win the regionals, you want to win, obviously, the nationals. Do you find that same competitive spirit, but in a different manner, with coaching education?
Oh, absolutely. Coaches are always how can I develop? How can I evolve? One of the things we've done as an example of that through a lot of fabulous work with our 8 regional head coaches for the Olympic Development Program, most specifically Jacob Daniel, who's the head coach for the Region 3 Boys ODP, and also is the technical director for Georgia Soccer. We have an ODP manual now that we give to all of our ODP coaches so that we are literally on the same page in developing the coaches to then turn around and develop with players within the Olympic Development Program. That content is driven by what the youth national team coaches are telling us. Here's what we need our players, our American players, to improve upon in order to be able to better compete at the international level. So we have a good deal of support from U.S. Soccer on that particular piece of, can you get that out even further? So we've posted it up on our website for any coach to grab. But we really drill it down with our ODP coaches at both the state and the regional level to help to develop that group of players who are trying to work their way up into the national pools.
It is amazing how much could be pulled up on the website, under resources, all the coaching materials. I found a lot out there in my own research.
Right.
Especially in this competitive environment that we talk about. And it's interesting how you talk about the Olympic Development Program. It is sanctioned with USYSA, United States Youth Soccer. It comes directly from the United States Olympic Committee, directly into U.S. Soccer. And the only board member, what I found interesting serving on the U.S. board, was it's a former athlete. It's actually an Athletes Council member that sits on both boards, the U.S. Soccer board and the United States Olympic Committee board. How does that relate, and how do you connect with the former players?
For us, it's a little bit different, dealing with youth players. It's hard to get an 18-year-old on a board of directors. But we do have that connection with some of our board members, some of our employees, some of our at both the state and national level, obviously being former players. some of whom may have played at a very high level beyond college, pro soccer, maybe even international soccer. So we have that connection to hear the athlete's voice. But the other thing that I like that our communications department I think has done a really good job of is at our events, whether it's the President's Cup, National Championship Series, at a variety of events, is talking to the players and getting feedback from the players as to what they're looking for, not only in that particular event that they're participating in, but in regard to their whole youth soccer experience. So I think we're beginning to do a better job of reaching out to the players and kind of surveying them, if you will, as to what are some of the things that they want out of their youth soccer experience throughout their teenage years and maybe even before that.
And speaking of players, even one level further, past the college, past the pros, you have this group, the United States National Players Association, who has connected with USYSA in terms of doing some developments. I remember a few years back where we had Landon Donovan, yes. I believe it was Clint Dempsey, and Tim Howard work with USYSA putting together some sort of instructional video, and that's exciting to see.
It is, and people can go to our website and see some of that now, see some of the interviews with Tim Howard and some of the other folks. And, there's that connection that always will be. In today's MLS draft that went on here at the convention, the 6 of the top 10 players that went into that came out of USU soccer programs.
It's amazing, and some of those coaches, not only the college coaches, but some of the youth directors or the coaches for those clubs were here on hand to see that, and it's quite exciting to see the development. Sam Snow, Director of USU Soccer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the time.